Imagine a world where the skies are silent, no songs at sunrise, no flocks flying in perfect formation, and no vibrant feathers adorning the trees. What if birds, some of the most remarkable creatures on Earth, never existed? How would this absence shape our ecosystems, cultures, and even humanity itself? Today we'll explore the fascinating and far-reaching consequences of a world without birds. The most immediate impact would be felt in nature, where birds play critical roles in maintaining ecosystems. Birds are essential for pollination, seed dispersal, and pest control, affecting plants and animals alike. Without birds, many flowering plants that rely on their pollination would struggle to reproduce. Fruits, nuts, and other crops dependent on birds to spread their seeds would see dramatic declines. Entire forests and grasslands might disappear, unable to regenerate without the help of birds. Insects, often controlled by birds, would thrive unchecked in their absence. Without birds to prey on them, insect populations would explode, overwhelming ecosystems. Farmers would face devastating pest infestations, as birds are natural allies in agriculture. The loss of birds would force humans to find alternative ways to control pests, likely through chemicals or other means. This imbalance could lead to a cascade of problems, affecting food supplies and natural habitats. Birds are also vital to the diets of countless other animals, from mammals to reptiles and even fish. Without birds, predators that rely on them for food would face starvation and eventual extinction. Scavengers like foxes and raccoons would lose a key source of nourishment from bird eggs and fledglings. The ripple effects of birds' absence would disrupt food webs, leading to widespread ecological collapse. The balance of life as we know it would be irreversibly altered. Humans, too, would face profound changes in a world without birds. Birds have inspired art, music, and literature for centuries, serving as symbols of freedom and beauty. Without their melodies and vibrant presence, human culture would lose one of its most enduring sources of inspiration. Famous works of art, from Van Gogh's Wheatfield with Crows to the many songs celebrating birds, would never exist. Our creative landscape would be poorer, missing the joy and wonder that birds bring to our lives. The skies themselves would look vastly different without birds. No flocks of migrating geese, no swallows darting through the air, no silhouettes of hawks gliding overhead. Airports might face fewer bird strike issues, but the absence of birds would leave the skies eerily empty. Our connection to the natural world would feel diminished without the dynamic presence of birds in flight. This silence would remind us of the beauty and life that birds contribute to our planet. The absence of birds would also leave gaps in our historical and cultural traditions. Many religions and myths celebrate birds as messengers, symbols of hope, or signs of the divine. Without birds, stories of phoenixes, doves of peace, and eagles of power would never have been told. National symbols, like the American bald eagle or the Indian peacock, would not exist, altering cultural identities. The human relationship with nature would lack the spiritual and symbolic depth that birds provide. Birds are also vital to scientific discovery and understanding of the natural world. The study of bird migration has revealed much about Earth's geography, weather patterns, and ecosystems. Without birds, we might not have discovered the connection between seasons and animal behavior. Charles Darwin's observations of finches played a critical role in developing the theory of evolution. The absence of birds would leave science with fewer tools to understand life and the processes that shape it. Travel and exploration would also look very different without birds as navigational guides. Historically, sailors relied on the presence of seabirds to locate land while traveling across oceans. Without birds, early exploration might have been slower, with fewer discoveries of distant lands. Humans would need to rely entirely on stars and other natural markers for navigation, delaying global expansion. This shift could have changed the course of history, altering trade routes and cultural exchanges. The agricultural industry would suffer greatly in a world without birds. Birds like chickens and turkeys are essential sources of protein for billions of people worldwide. Without these domesticated birds, humanity would need to find alternative food sources to meet dietary needs. The absence of birds would force innovation in farming and food production, likely focusing on other animals or plants. Entire economies built around poultry farming would never have developed, leaving a significant gap in global trade. The loss of birds would also affect human health and well-being in unexpected ways. Birds play a key role in controlling disease-carrying insects, such as mosquitoes. Without birds, diseases like malaria and dengue fever could spread more rapidly, threatening millions of lives. The emotional and psychological benefits of birdwatching, a beloved pastime for many, would also disappear. Humans would lose not just the practical, but the emotional connection they share with these remarkable creatures. The absence of birds would force humans to find replacements for their many roles in the natural world. Drones or other technologies might be developed to pollinate plants or control pests in the absence of birds. These artificial solutions would come at a cost, both financially and environmentally. Despite advancements in technology, no human invention could fully replicate the intricate contributions of birds. This reliance on artificial substitutes would remind us of the irreplaceable value of the natural world. Climate and weather patterns might also be affected by the absence of birds. Birds contribute to nutrient cycling by spreading seeds and fertilizing ecosystems with their droppings. Without them, plant growth and carbon storage might decrease, impacting climate regulation. Forests, wetlands, and grasslands could lose biodiversity, reducing their ability to support life and mitigate climate change. The loss of birds would amplify environmental challenges, making it harder to sustain a healthy planet. What if birds never existed? It would be a quieter, emptier, and more fragile world, missing one of nature's most vital components. This thought experiment reminds us to appreciate the incredible roles birds play in our lives and ecosystems. Thank you for joining us on this journey into a world without birds and the lessons it offers about our natural world. Until next time, celebrate the presence of birds in your life and remember how much they enrich our planet.